Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. I welcome you all proud publicans to DPS Media. Today we are here for lecture number 4, Computer Science of class 10th. We are doing unit number 1, Problem Solving. In the previous lecture, we have learned design algorithm from page number 2, 4, 5, 6 and 7 of your textbook. And today we are going to do draw flowchart page number 2, 8 and 9. Remember that it's the fourth step of problem solving process. Let's see what a flowchart is. It's a pictorial representation of an algorithm. Pictorial means graphical. It visually displays the flow of data, the operations performed within the system, and the sequence of operations. Remember that we have represented input, process, and output through an algorithm, and if we draw a picture of that algorithm, that would be called a flowchart. Flowchart is always drawn before writing a computer program. As an architect draws a map of the building before constructing it, similarly, a programmer refers to draw flowchart prior to writing a computer program. It helps in visualizing and understand the processes clearly. American National Standards Institute (ANSI) has set the standards for flowchart in 1960s, and these were later adopted by ISO in 1970s. And since then we are using the same set of symbols. Let's have a look of some flowchart symbols. Start end, input output, processing, decision, flow lines, connector, on page off page connector, predefined process, remarks. Let's discuss these symbols in detail. The start end symbol is shaped like an oval. It is also known as terminal symbol. It is used in start and end of the flowchart, showing the starting and ending point. A parallelogram shape is used to represent input and output in a flowchart. Gather ingredients. Remember that we have baked the cake and we have gathered some ingredients. That would be your input and it would be represented in a parallelogram. And similarly, display result. For example, we have shown the cake in a plate, the baked cake in a plate. So that we would have to represent in the parallelogram. Remember one more thing, your parallelogram should be tilted towards the right side because the left side is against the standards. A rectangular shape symbol used to show processes in the flowchart. All the processes, tasks, actions and operations are shown by processing symbol. Only one flow lines come out of the processing symbol. You can draw it vertically from top to bottom or you can draw it horizontally from left to right. Decision symbol. A diamond-shaped symbol is used to show decision in a flowchart. The flow lines coming out of decision symbol are labeled with yes, no or true, false. Remember that in cake baking, we have checked the cake is baked or not by putting in the knife or a toothpick. Condition is written inside the symbol. Lines with arrowheads are used to show the flow of process. The usual direction of flow is from top to bottom or left to right. These are used to connect various symbols of flowchart. A small circle is called connector symbol. To avoid crisscross of lines in a flowchart, we use connector symbol. It connects multiple lines and put forward a single line as output. On-page, off-page connector. A pentagon shaped symbol is used when a flowchart becomes very large to fit on a single page. It is also used to connect different parts of flowchart on the same page. The page number or part number is written inside the symbol. Predefined process. This bordered rectangle symbol refers to a process that is defined elsewhere. We are just going to use this process over here. It is used to represent built-in and user-defined functions, and these two functions will be learned in detail in unit number 5 of your book. Remark symbol is also known as annotation symbol. It is used to add comments and additional descriptive text to a flowchart process. Here are some guidelines you need to follow for drawing flowchart. The flowchart should be clear, neat and easy to follow. The usual direction of flowchart is from top to bottom or left to right. It doesn't mean that you cannot make it from bottom to top or right to left, but the usual direction is the standard. We check the validity of flowchart through test data as we have checked the validity of algorithm. The rest of the guidelines are explained with the symbols. Let's discuss few advantages of flowchart. As you know, a picture is worth 1,000 words, so the logic of an algorithm can be described more effectively with the help of a flowchart. It is a part of design document. Remember that documentation is the last part of problem-solving process, and flowchart is the important part of that design document. Hence, maintenance of operational programs becomes easy. It is used as a guide for program development for the newcomers. It helps the programmer to put efforts more efficiently on the underlying problem. And it also helps in removing errors from the process. Debugging means removing errors. Besides the advantages, here are some limitations and disadvantages of flowchart. It is difficult to draw flowcharts for complicated and large problems. If changes are required, the flowchart is to be redrawn because it's a paperwork. We are not going to do any work on computer right now, so we have to redraw the flowchart if changes are required. I'm taking an example of flowchart from Journal Life. After learning unit number 2, we will move towards the professional flowcharts. Let's cook an omelette. The first step would be to start with the terminal symbol and the next to add ingredients. The ingredients may vary from person to person. The next step would be a process, beat the mixture, warm oil in the pan, pour mixture in the pan, and now what would I do? My page ends over here. I will use an on-page connector over here with a number inside it, and from the next part with the same symbol I'm going to start the rest of the part of the flowchart. And the next step would be again a process to cook. And here we check, is omelette cooked with the decision symbol? Yes. Take out in plate, serve, and stop. You have seen that the terminal symbol is used at two places, one in the start with the word start inside and one in the end with stop inside it. And similarly, the green colored parallelograms are used at two places. The first one is for input and the last two are for the output. But what if our omelette is not cooked? then we have to cook more. And again we have to check, is our omelette cooked or no? But here we are going to crisscross the lines. And to avoid this crisscross, what do? We use a connector symbol to join multiple lines here. I hope that you have learned all the flowchart symbols by using this example. Alright, it's assignment time. You have to draw a flowchart for how to boil an egg. Send me your assignment number 2 at rixy000@gmail.com. I think it would be easy for you. Today we have learned flowchart, its symbols, guidelines for drawing flowchart, its advantages and limitations, and I hope you have understood all the topics. All these short questions are very important. Define flowchart, write advantages of flowchart, state the purpose of input-output symbol, also give example, write limitations of flowchart, why is flowchart designed to solve a problem. These are all taken from the board papers. Your feedback is welcome on rixy000@gmail.com. Z Tariq here, signing off from today. We'll meet you in the next lecture, in the next video. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.